Vlogging by candlelight. It's Wednesday and it's 4:48 a.m., which my computer wants something from me. Great. Uh, I really shouldn't have white sheets. I'm really sorry. I tried to cough before the video starts. You can see how well that works. As I was saying, it's Wednesday at 4:49 now p.m. That's my pillow. My hand. You don't think fourth appendage. Yeah. So I think I sang something tonight, but I actually re-listened to it, and my singing voice is really, really starting to suffer. Let's assume that I had one to begin with, and I was somewhat talented. It's definitely suffering. I'm glad you can't see my hair, because it's all matted and gross, and I'm really glad it's red down the middle, because you can't tell that there's blood in it, because I haven't had time to shower. Oh no, gross, I'm sorry. These are sort of becoming like secret vlogs because I don't really know who's watching them. I know there's a YouTube community that's watching them that I appreciate greatly. And the comments I really try to get back to. I usually get the email at work and I want to reply. I can't. It's been most of my days sleeping. Today I work my normal shift, which means I don't go in until a little bit later. But Thursday I'm working. Well, tomorrow I may be taking a friend home again, so that doubles my shift. And then Thursday I'm working a morning extravaganza. Subs are getting slashed from like $4.50 to $1 for like 4 hours to do a promo event. And I'm supposed to be driving, and I'm praying I'm not going to get put on the line because I can't remember the subs unless I look. I just haven't had the experience, and putting me in a fast-paced situation isn't going to make it any better. Yeah. I try not to talk too much about my job, but I deliver, and I deliver things. Sandwiches and other kinds of food. Yeah. It's a good job, and it doesn't pay enough, but it's a good job, and that's about all I can say. I had to move my nurse visit for Thursday back a little later, so I'll come back and get my dressing changed and probably run some fluids and then go back in. My friend is coming home Thursday, and I don't know what's going on Friday. I have something about my grandmother wanting to do lunch at like the middle ground between here and there. So I need to, I guess, message my mom tomorrow and see what's going on with that. It would be nice to get some new clothes, because I'm losing weight rapidly. I have so many clothes in my room right now, and I just can't. I don't have the energy to put them up. Good portion of them are clean. Small portion of them are dirty. Yeah. So, I'm sort of like trepidatious to talk about. It's not mine. To talk about the situation honestly, because I feel like my friends should know first, and if my friends are watching these, great. But I don't know if they are. If you are, and you happen to share a tattoo with me, or a performance interest, or are a super close friend, then you should take the time and fucking comment below so I know you're here. And if you're not, don't. Obviously, fine. It's just there are a lot of things that I want to tell them in person, and I don't want them to find out via video. I've gone to UNC. You guys know where I live. I've gone to UNCER enough that they know me. If I deliver there, the charge nurse will stop me and run my vitals before I can leave. And my vitals were so poor when I delivered. She called my work and said, "Carrie's not coming back to work." And sort of made it sound like it was like a one-time thing, like I passed out in the ER, which is not the case. So I was like, please lie for me, because they can't really know how serious this is. And they said I had like a low blood sugar or something, which wasn't the case, but some of my coworkers think I have diabetes, which is really strange because my best friend does and doesn't have a PICC line. It's like my new acorn. Like, it hangs around my neck like a fucking... Yeah, it's like my Peter Pan acorn. That's the best way to think of it. I'm sorry, my hand's going extra numb. Yeah, so they finally set me up to see the pulmonologist during her clinic hours. And I've seen her before. She's really wonderful. And I've seen another pulmonologist. It's a guy who's a douche nozzle. Sorry. Alright. But I saw her during her office hours today. And barely. I was like, I almost missed the appointment because I was so out of it. And I saw her, and she looked at the latest CT, and she's like, it's progressing, and I don't know what to do for you, and, you know, we can try steroids, which I was already on them for the pneumonia. I'm working, and those of you with Lyme, I know understand this. I'm on a full, like, broad spectrum protocol for the pneumonia. And then I'm on steroids for the cough and everything. Tessalon pearls for the cough. Hydrocodone cough syrup, just in case it gets so bad that I can't breathe or sleep. I'm taking my seizure meds now as needed, except recently. Recently I've had to cut back on the steroids, and I've been trying to pare my seizure dose down so that I need less of it. I'm really sorry for coughing, guys. I know it's not fun to listen to. I've been trying to pare my seizure meds down for how much I need, how much works, but I've sort of, the doxy's pissed off the Lyme, and so thus the encephalitis, and the falling, and the seizures, and the drawing a dotted line down the middle of my head that you couldn't see until you really looked when the crazy nurse went and scrubbed at my fucking head, which hurts and makes me pass out and throw up. They really get me through really quick because they know there's not a lot they can do, and you know, with there being so little, they really try to get me through the ER, which is really, I really appreciate, because it's cold, and they know that my immune system is really poor, and anytime I'm there, I have a mask on the whole time, because I can't risk it, and a lot of people have been sick at work, and it's kind of made me nervous. Because a lot of people have this weird cough, and they're like, oh, it's just allergies, and I'm like, you don't know that, but, yeah. The Zofran isn't super helping. I called the nurse when I rescheduled and asked to see if she could call about the vitamin C, which is supposed to help with the seizures, and also maybe switching to full-on, like, TPN, which is total peripheral nutrition, I think is the correct word, which is basically what they do when you can't eat anymore, and I'm not eating. Everything I eat comes back up, Zofran or not. IV Zofran or not. I'm a little less sensitive to smells, which is helpful when working with food. And thankfully, like, our food isn't, like, super overwhelmingly, like, sickeningly smelly. I know that's weird, but there are aspects of the job that are really bothersome smell-wise. A lot of chemicals, so the chemical sensitivity crops up. I just gotta try to keep this job as long as I can, but seeing the pulmonologist, well, I have debts to pay. I have to pay back the Lyme doctor, and many other people want money from me, and rent, and phone bills, and, you know, like, normal stuff, but I'm not on disability, and I don't have any savings, and I, like, live, like, shift to shift. Like, I put gas in my car, and then I get money back. So, and it's really hard to build anything up, because I'll get paid tomorrow, and it'll be gone. You know, I won't even see the money. So, anyway, can you tell I'm putting it off? The pulmonologist, she basically says it's getting worse, and doesn't really know what that means, and can give me an estimate of time, but, you know, like, I don't know how much I believe in it, because I have friends that got estimates of time who are still alive, and so alive that they can say to all the people who cared for them when they were sick. So, and I don't want to be one of those people. I have a good friend coming in this weekend, and I sort of debate telling her, and I sort of debate telling my friends. Because I don't want them looking at me differently. I don't want them living differently. If they're not already doing what they should be doing with me, if that has to be your motivation, you're not following my rules. You're not playing by my game, and you're not being the best friend to me you possibly can be. Now, I get that there are limitations with that, like monetary limitations. You know, like, we're not gonna fucking go to the moon, you know, just because. But I mean, person-wise. So if you're not, you know, like, taking the time to spend time with me, or talking to me, or... And I'm not saying any of my friends are doing this, like, they all have lives. I also don't expect the world to stop and melt for me. I don't. It makes me get a little more serious about wanting to have a power of attorney, but I don't know who that would be. I know who I trust, but I don't know that I can do that at this point. I really need a living will, because a lot of my friends have joked about things, and I actually want to see them become reality, and I don't want my parents to step in and take over the process, because all my friends know very clearly there are things that I don't want, and I'll happily state them here for you. I don't want to be put in a casket, I don't want to be buried in the ground, and I don't want to have any kind of viewing where anybody does me up. Those three things are a big, big fucking no-no. Don't do it. I don't know how I feel about cremation. What you do afterwards is definitely for the people that survive, not the dead. And I'll be dead and gone, so a lot of it is for them, and I always tell them what they come up with in that moment will feel right. And they, being my closest friends, will have my blessing no matter what they do. But there's a joke of a Viking funeral that they want to send my body out into, you know, onto a ship in a body of water and shoot flaming arrows at it. And as much as my body has betrayed me and my whatever soul existence will be gone, shooting flaming arrows at it seems awesome. I think it's cool. The only complication is that my friend wants some of my ashes and has to sift through them. Our tattoo artist spoke clearly about this. Has to sift through them to get just the ashes, because she's getting a tattoo of ink from my body, which is really cool. I have the phonograph on my left arm, and her ampersand is on her right inside of her arm, and mine is on the back of my right arm. And so on the inside of her left arm, she's getting a pipe, like Magritte, with music coming out of the end, and it'll say, "This is not a pipe," in French, which pays homage to Magritte, which I love, and also pays homage to this weird quote I left her on a text message, and I mean a phone message, and I said, "Why don't you put that in a pipe and make a song out of it?" So it's got my tattoo and my favorite art, and then the fact that she loves music. It's the one thing that has forever held us together. And not want to kill each other. Yeah, so there's that. I mean, it's funny because I start talking about funeral arrangements, and I can't help but smile, because there will be bad wine, and there will be lemon cake, and I know that my friends will have the best party, and I know that they'll sit around and tell stories, stupid things I've done, and part of me wishes I could be there in a way, you know. I'd like to hear my own funeral and be a fucking fly on the wall, because I think as an introvert you play down so much of who you are, and as a sick person you continue to push that down, you know, all the things that you cultivate as a person, you sort of learn to lessen them, to damper them, to hide them. And so if somebody compliments you or reminds you of something you did or could do or still are able to do, and you're, you know, it's disheartening in a way, and on the other hand it's sort of this odd reminder of, oh yeah, that is part of me. I forgot. Anyway, I think I'm going to make another video and try to talk about the pulmonologist more to get back to Suzanne or anybody who's watching. You guys take care and be well.